The FCC approves strong net neutrality regulations, tightening the government oversight of the internet to prevent abuses by broadband service providers. Only the 5 FCC commissioners, however, and some agency staffers have seen the 300-page plus net neutrality order, which prohibits broadband providers from blocking, slowing, or selling faster delivery of content. I am joined by the Ebru think tank, Jose Lopez of Seton Hall University, Jackie Guzda of Western Connecticut University, and Paul Levinson of Fordham University. And who feels strong? Jackie, let's go to you first.
We won!
Yes.
You won.
We won, yeah.
What did we win? People, I'm still not sure what we won.
Freedom, justice, and the American way.
Right. Geez, we were just talking about it, Superman.
Yeah. The freedom to access information freely, the freedom for people who are rich and poor to continually, you seem to have a look on your face, Logan.
I
think I'm going to, I'll get Paul's got a bone to pick with you.
Well, listen, we have freedom already. There's not a single case where any mega corporation has prevented an individual from communicating. And so I see this whole fervor for net neutrality to be much ado about nothing. And as a matter of fact, I was just watching House of Cards last night, and it froze slightly on my screen, as often that happens when you're watching something that's streaming. What the ISPs want to do is charge Netflix a little more money so Netflix can get preferred access, meaning that they will have a cleaner way of streaming their material. That is going to help millions and millions of Americans. That's not going to censor anyone. That's not going to prevent you or me from putting up a blog post or sending an email or tweeting. So I am totally nonplussed by the FCC.
Right. See, I agree with you, Paul. I'm going to take it one step further. The fact that we have government oversight, I'm not a big truster of government. So I feel that now we have another agency, government agency and bureaucracy pulling the strings more on the internet that has worked fine with limited government oversight. I'm going to go to Jose, then I'll go back to you, Jackie.
No, this is a good thing, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Okay.
Logan. No way possible. Absolutely. The internet it's an enabling technology. It's an absolute necessity. It's not all about watching movies and TV shows and Twittering. People use it to work. People use it to buy things, to move merchandise around, to do things. This is a technology that is at the level of electricity. It's at the level of a telephone where you need it to do your business nowadays. Electricity, if you don't have electricity, I mean, you're in trouble. You're not doing anything. You're really stuck in a cabin in the woods at this point. If you don't have the internet, that's where you are. You're stuck in a cabin in the woods.
Jackie, are we in a cabin in the woods?
You don't trust the big government, right?
Correct.
Do you trust the power for big corporations to have?
I do, because they're more controlled by the free market, where consumers will only pay X number of dollars before they pull the plug on the internet, just like they pull the plug on cable. I don't have cable in my house because I'm not going to pay the cable company. I just stream all my television.
Right, but you don't need television on your TV box. You do need the freedom of information that you get from the internet. Now, look what happened in television in its history. Back in the day, before the 80s, ABC, NBC, PBS, and ABC and CBS controlled everything, the big three and PBS. In the 80s, little by little, the independent stations broke them down. Cable came in. They started to bundle, and the corporations had that power now. You have to pay your cable company to have your television access coming in. That is the road that the internet was going down. Now, that the corporations wanted the power because why? They saw that this was an opportunity to make millions and trillions of dollars. They wanted in on that piece. Now, the government isn't so much saying, well, we're in control. The government's saying, corporations, you do not have the right to be the gatekeeper of this information. You cannot charge little companies, you cannot charge big companies. This is a right of the people, like Jose said, it's a utility. We need the internet. We need that free information. So the government is only saying, people, you have the power, not the corporations.
Government is so benevolent.
Yeah. Well, look, here's the reality. We have a First Amendment which prohibits the government from regulating any kind of communication unless it's for criminal activity. We don't have any First Amendment that says corporations can't control anything. So the fact of the matter is what the FCC has done is a violation of the First Amendment. And as far as your concerns, we have not had net neutrality enforced since the internet began, and guess what? It's been behaving beautifully.
It's been creeping up.
No, it's not.
That's why we now pay for Netflix.
There's not a single case of anyone ever being prevented from communicating by a corporation on the internet. In fact, there are cases like the Communications Decency Act in the 1990s, which fortunately was struck down as unconstitutional, but that act basically sought to throw people in prison if they were communicating things online that were thought to be objectionable, not suitable for children, that kind of thing. It's the government that's the problem, not corporations.
We also have the Telecommunications Act of 1996.
In 1930, even way before that.
Right, but this in 1996, it allowed one entity like Rupert Murdoch to own as many stations in any market like New York as he would like. That's why we are now getting this polarized news that we only hear from one point of view.
Oh, we're getting both sides. We're not getting the middle.
Here.
We're getting the far left. We're getting the far right.
Here.
No, I mean the laws of what's put in the policy.
The laws of physics.
What the FCC has put in right now is the customer now has a way of the only option you had if you didn't like your internet company, your internet service provider, is you just canceled your subscription to them. Now at least you can complain to them. But in many markets, even in our market here, in the New York City area and the metropolitan area here, you really have limited options of who you can pick from and who you're going to get it from. So now, at least with the government backing behind it, if there's an issue that you're being price gouged, the price is going up, there's these extra fees, all these different, there's a mechanism
I can
now.
say no. Hello, you have reached the FCC. Press 1 if you're being price gouged. Press 2 if your Netflix is too slow. Press 3.
You don't have to press anything because the FCC is guaranteeing us, the people, freedom to access information so we can make proper decisions to run our democracy, not
Well, we've done it before without the FCC.
Yes,
Paul.
we don't need the FCC to guarantee anything. The Constitution guarantees our freedom. The fact of the matter is the government, if you look at history, has never guaranteed freedom, either here in the United States or around the world when it comes to communication. What the governments have by and large done is when they don't like a kind of communication, they've gone in and censored it. And freedom has come from the people and from business opportunities. The very notion of newspapers, the way we now have them, arose because merchants were able to finance the press and thereby bring the press out of the control of the monarchs. And so it was capitalism that was the economic foundation of democracy. So, you know, this somehow view that corporations are out to take away our freedom, I think is just not supported historically or in the present.
What's the point of a corporation? What's their bottom line?
To make money.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if those people that you care about that will go for the freedom, if they can't afford the $29.95
They're going to price
month,
it right, but they're going to price it right so you do buy it. I mean,
And
my internet
up it.
in New York City is $14 a month because they know that if they don't make it affordable, the government will step in and do something.
if you bought into a whole cable package, how much would it be a month?
A cable package?
With television.
$89.99 for the 2-year contract
And
plus a
back in the
free
day,
DVR.
back in the day, it was free with the rabbit ears.
Right.
That is the.
Well,
that
you
is
can
the-
still is. It still is,
Oh,
Jackie.
stop being a legal
It still
person.
is. No, it
So
still
you can
is.
still get digital
I
signals.
know.
off the air. Go
They're still
on.
transmitting. They're still
But you
transmitting.
get much more now. Back in the day, there were a handful of channels. Those were free. That was wonderful.
And they're still free.
That's
You-
right.
you
They're
put
still
those
free.
antennas up
now
and you
for the
still get 'em.
$89, which I'm not happy
And
about
that's
either.
protected by
I'd
the
rather-
FCC.
Right. But basically, for the $89 or whatever it is, you get thousands of different channels. I think that's a pretty
I got to
good
pull
deal.
the plug. Like I'm the government of the United States,
There you
I'm
go.
going to pull down the curtain because we're going to talk about our next topic, which is the lightning round. We'll examine everything from llamas to a sinking feeling in South Korea after this.